from Southern Maryland's weather leader. This is a JB Weather Alert.
Good evening, I'm Forecaster John Bordash, still with you here in the Storm Center, continuing to track the potential for severe weather across our region. And we do now have a brand new tornado warning in effect for parts of King George County here in Virginia. This goes until 8:15 for this area here, shaded in pink. This is right over the King George, Virginia area. This will be getting here into the Dahlgren area in just about 15 minutes or so, really, as we head on over towards about 8:05, and maybe even a little bit sooner than that, as this storm is beginning to pick up in its forward speed. We note that this storm has a very classic hook presentation to it, indicating that we have strong amounts of rotation with this storm as it continues here to move to the north and east. Velocity data right now shows where we have rotation here coming away from the radar and then towards the radar. We have a very tight area of rotation here just to the south of King George. If you are in this tornado warned storm area, this tornado warning until 8:15 for King George County, this is what you need to be doing right now. You need to be moving indoors to a substantial shelter that has a foundation. Not a mobile home, not a trailer or a shed. You want to move to the lowest level of your home. That's either going to be a basement or a first floor. Move into an interior room or hallway. On that lowest level, you want to put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. So that means you're moving either into a closet, into a hallway, into a bathroom, one of those interior rooms, and you want to cover your head and body. Again, this is for those that are within this tornado warning right now. This is up for King George County, and for those of you in Southern Maryland, this will definitely be something that we need to keep an eye on, as its general trajectory here will be towards Charles County over the next Charles and St. Mary's County here over the next little bit. This is a look at the radar loop here. And it doesn't look like it's wanting to loop the right way. But if we were to put a brand new storm track on this storm here, let's see if we can get that loaded up. Again, we're continuing to watch this here, moving 42 degrees at 28 miles per hour. That would take us generally in this direction. So this is just on the doorstep of Dahlgren, Virginia. This is moving in right around 8 o'clock. This will be crossing the 301 bridge here in about 15 to 20 minutes. Heads up if you're traveling north or southbound on the 301 bridge. Pushing into Newburgh and Pope's Creek here by about 8:10, 8:15 on up into Allen's Fresh and Belle Alton and Dennisville as we approach 8:20 to 8:30, potentially getting into the Hughesville area as we approach 8:43. This system has a long history of potentially producing a tornado. It has a history of producing a tornado and has a long history of that rotation. I want to show you our rotation tracks with this storm. This allows us to really track where we've seen this storm over the last little bit. I want to turn off some of the layers here on this map. Let's turn that off. Where we see these bright yellows and reds, that would be high instances of rotation in the atmosphere. And we've seen this storm from the Hewlett area in Virginia track through Ladysmith, northwest of Bowling Green, now getting into King George County and sitting right over King George right now. You can see where the general trajectory of this storm is. So if you are here in Charles County, you do want to be aware and maybe start thinking of taking those tornado safety precautions as well. This is going to be areas along and to the east of 301. So we're talking east of the Plata, east of Belle Alton, most likely. This is really going to be something we're watching right along that 301 corridor. I want to go over to our traffic cameras right now, see if we're able to get a live look here into what this storm could be doing as it continues to track here to the north and east. Let's take you on over to the Harry Nice Bridge camera. This is here on the Charles County side looking into the storm in Virginia. So Virginia would be in the background back here. You can see where we're starting to get some darkening storm clouds. This is looking into our tornadic storm as it continues here to track to the north and east. The most concerning area of rotation continues to be here, and that's just now past King George. It's really right up along 301 right now. So this is really going to be, let's see, we have Blue Jay Meadows right now, Potts Lane Ordman Way, in all of these areas right now. And this will be really coming here into Dahlgren just about now. This is right on your doorstep. And if you're here in Newburgh, really here along 301, north of Tompkinsville, so Morgantown, Mount Victoria, I'd include you in this. Newburgh, Popes Creek, Newport, Wycomico, Allen's Fresh, Belle Alton, Dentonville. These are all going to be the regions you're going to want to be staying aware. If I had to guess, we'll likely see a new warning with this storm likely get issued somewhere in here. And as I draw that, we have a new severe thunderstorm warning now in effect for parts of Charles County as this system that has a history of producing a tornado continues to track here to the north and east. This is the latest information. This is a brand new severe thunderstorm warning now for Charles County as this storm continues here to track to the north and east. Let's get the latest. We want to get the latest track here with this storm. The worst part of it continuing to track at about 30 miles an hour. So this warning does not formally include St. Mary's County at the moment, but this is going to be tracking right up along 301. So bear with me as I get this new information here posted over to our social media accounts right now. And I'll get you that latest warning text here in just a moment. Alright, so we know the storm has a producing damage winds and potential Alright, let's get this posted. I'll get you the latest warning text here in just a moment. Bear with me. Last update over on Twitter, and it really wouldn't surprise me to see a new tornado warning get issued any time here in just a moment, but we'll see. We'll watch that potential. So this is the latest information from the National Weather Service. Again, this is a brand new severe thunderstorm warning. This is going to be in effect here until 8:30 for Charles County. At 7:51, a severe thunderstorm was located over Nanjemoyne Creek, moving northeast at 35 miles per hour. The main threats here are going to be 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and quarter-sized hail. This storm also has a history of producing tornadoes as well as it's moved through Virginia. Locations impacted include, but are not limited to, Waldorf, La Plata, Port Tobacco River, Popes Creek, St. Charles, Wycomico, Hughesville, Aquasco, Bryantown, Pomfret, Port Tobacco Village, Dentonville, Port Tobacco, White Plains, Belle Alton, Newburgh, Northwood, Welcome, and Faulkner as the storm continues here to track to the north and east. I'm going to go ahead and see what our latest velocity scan is showing with this storm. Still continuing to see some rather ominous signs of rotation within this storm right down here. Just to the south of Dahlgren. This will be tracking right up along 301 here, getting into Popes Creek and Newburgh here very shortly, and then thereafter getting into Newport and Dentonville in very short order as this storm continues here to track towards the north and east. I do want to take a look, see if we have updated, if I bring it back over here quickly to our rotation tracker, again, where you see the brightest colors, you can kind of see the scale there on the left side of your screen. Where we have the brightest colors in here, yellows and reds, that would be higher instances of rotation within a thunderstorm. And you can see that history of rotation from Hewlett, south of Ladysmith, north of Bowling Green, just to the west of Port Royal, through King George, right now on the doorstep here of Dahlgren. And then potentially here, might try to continue towards Popes Creek, over here towards Belle Alton and Dentonville over the next little bit. Let me bring you over here. I quickly want to check our, actually we have a new radar scan in, which is fantastic timing. Let's take a look. Latest rotation, that is coming in right now. We're awaiting that scan. As we wait for that, you can see really where that inflow notch is going to be. That's going to be trying to spin up that little bit of a tornado. You can see that inflow notch coming right in here into Dahlgren, and then you can see the outflow wind really trying to wrap right in here. So again, that's going to be right up along our 301 bridge. I really want to see what our 301 bridge camera is showing. This is a great image to show you. Coming on over here, not the best quality, but I can very clearly see, if you look closely enough, you can see the clouds beginning to move around over the 301 bridge. That's going to be right back here, darkening skies. This storm is continuing to show signs of rotation. We're seeing those clouds move as it continues to move north and east. So this will be moving right over this location. And I want to make sure that we're keeping an eye over here. I'm going to keep this up in the background to see if we get any new updates on this storm. And again, this is going to be passing just south of that 301 bridge here over the next 5 minutes or so. So any interest in this region, if you're traveling 301, you live along 301, you live in Morgantown, Newburgh, we're treating this like a tornado warning. We're going to go ahead and take those tornado safety precautions. If you're in this region, if you're in this severe thunderstorm warning, what does that mean? That means you're moving into a substantial shelter that has a foundation. We're not going to be moving into a mobile home, a trailer, or a shed. You need something with a firm foundation. Lowest level of that shelter, either a basement or a first floor. You want to be moving into an interior room. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. And you want to cover your head and body. If there is indeed a tornado that spins up, you want to protect yourself from flying debris as it continues to move here to the north and east. Bringing you back on over here to live William Richmond Inc. radar, continuing to track this. If you're just now joining us, good evening. I'm Forecaster John Bordash, continuing to track a tornadic thunderstorm moving out of Virginia, prompting severe thunderstorm warnings here in southern Maryland, tornado warnings in King George County on over towards Virginia. This storm has a long history of rotating and even producing a tornado back in Caroline County in Virginia, southwest of Bowling Green. It continues to show healthy amounts of rotation as it tracks north and east. Our main area of concern right now is going to be the Newburgh area as it continues here to track to the north and east. Any interest here in Morgantown, Newburgh, and Pope's Creek, you're under immediate threat of this storm. Take those tornado safety precautions we just went over. You want to move into the lowest level of your home, and you want to be putting as many walls between you and the outside as possible. This storm then, in short order, very quickly will pose a threat to Newport, Dennisville, and Belle Alton as it continues north and east, really riding that 301 corridor. Hughesville and the Plata, you might have to deal with this system as we approach that 8:30 time frame. I want to come back over here to our traffic camera here. This is that 301 bridge camera. This is in Charles County looking back towards Virginia. In the background, you can continue to see those clouds moving around, showing those early signs of rotation, seeing those clouds continue to move around. The worst of this storm is just going to be to the south of where this camera is. So if there is going to be a tornado or a water spout with this, we should be able to track this live here on our camera, and we'll continue to keep a watch over this. I did just see a nice bolt of lightning with this storm as it continues here to push towards the north and east. Let me take you back on over here. Let's move you on in. We're now starting to see this storm approach the 301 corridor. Let's get the latest look on velocity with this storm. That update's coming in, and what you can see still is where we have this intense area of rotation here, really centered over Dahlgren. This is moving northeast, so Pope's Creek, Newburgh, Morgantown, Mount Victoria, Wycomico, Newport. You all are under the immediate threat of this storm. You have no active tornado warning right now for Charles County, but I would not be surprised to see a new warning get issued for this area as it continues to look rather ominous as it tracks here north and east. It really looks like it's trying to mature a little bit and spike back up as it tracks here north and east. Let's get some of those town names loaded up here for you. If you are near any of these locations, you're going to be under immediate threat here. So we're talking Clifton Drive, moving on up here to Pope's Creek Road, Mount Victoria Road, Allen's Fresh Road. Any of those locations right now, those are going to be the areas under the most immediate threat for the potential of a rotating thunderstorm. And what I'm seeing is that this thunderstorm looks to have a decent amount of wind moving away from the radar. And this is going to be due to that shear. And then you get that tight inward couplet here over Dahlgren, and that's going to continue here to track to the north and east. Let me take you back on over here to reflectivity mode. I want to go ahead and get a brand new storm track on this storm as it continues to track here northeast at about 35 miles per hour. So this will eventually begin to pose a risk here to parts of PG and Calvert counties over the next hour or so. This is an hour-long timeline here. So we're pushing this into Pope's Creek in about 4 minutes or so. It's really on your doorstep right now. Newburgh and Newport as we head on over towards 8:30, moving into Bryantown at 8:30. And we'll be pushing this then into Hughesville as we head on over towards 8:30 as well. Let me bring you back over here towards live camera footage we have here from the 301 bridge. You continue to see those darkening skies as the worst of this storm begins to push in. We're not looking at heavy rain in this one location yet, but we will be seeing heavy rain on this camera begin to show up here in very short order as it continues here to track to the north and east. Where this camera is right right here where my little cursor is. So you can see it is quite literally looking in here to the corner of this storm as it continues to race to the north and east. And I'm going to be very interested to see if we can get any footage of what could be a potential water spout on that camera as we move forward in time. But we have no active warnings for St. Mary's, Calvert, or PG counties right now. Those areas are just under a severe thunderstorm watch. And we've been highlighting in the last few hours the potential for these storms to push through between 8 and 10 o'clock. And sure enough, that's what we've been seeing as these storms continue here to push to the north and east. We have additional severe thunderstorms back to the south and west. These two have had a history of producing tornadoes. And we will continue to track them as they continue to push here to the east. I'm going to be interested to see how they continue to develop and evolve as we go on with time. But just to reset again, this is going to be your severe thunderstorm warning polygon. We are treating this like a tornado warning though because of the long history of rotation this storm has and that we've seen that it's had. We're now looking at this storm, newest radar scan coming in, pushing here into Charles County, now crossing the Potomac River. I'm going to see if on a different program I can get up to look at that rotation coupling that's about to come here in the next few seconds. But we can see where we have heavy rain from Waldorf down here through La Plata, Port Tobacco, Belle Alton, really beginning to pour now in parts of Pope's Creek and Newburgh as it continues to push you to the north and east. We do now have, looks like, yep, that new scan is in, and I'm still seeing a healthy amount of rotation with this storm here. Winds coming away from the radar here, towards the radar here, pushing from Dahlgren now, crossing Pope's Creek as it continues here to track to the north and east. I want to take you back on over here in real time over to our live traffic camera from this location here. This is on the 301 bridge looking back into our tornadic storm. We can see we have darkening clouds here in the foreground. We've seen quick moving clouds around the base of this storm, indicating those amounts of rotation here in the mid to upper levels of the atmosphere. So taking you back on over here, no tornado warning yet for Charles County, and we might not get one, but I am very concerned in the very least for the potential of strong winds with this thunderstorm as it continues to track here to the north and east. So let's go ahead. I want to take it back on over to our normal looking version of radar. Let's take you on over here. Yeah, so this is going to be the latest. Let's see if we have a new update from the National Weather Service. Nothing just yet, but they're continuing the severe thunderstorm warning for Charles County. This will continue until 8:30. They're highlighting the threat of a potential tornado and then winds upwards of 60 miles an hour with this storm as well. I have not yet had the lightning on because it tends to cloud up our radar, and sure enough, that's what it's doing. But you can see the immense amount of lightning with this storm. We're recording up over 100 strikes of lightning with this storm as it crosses the Potomac River here into Charles County. Again, with that little bit of rotation continuing, that tornado warning down here for King George County should be allowed to expire here very shortly as this storm is now exiting this region. but we are tracking this developing line of thunderstorms as it pushes into Spotsylvania County. This is a new severe thunderstorm warning until 8:45. That's I-95. I want to turn that tool off. Clear and stop. We're going to continue to track this as it pushes north and east. We have an entire line of thunderstorms here that's going to look to pose a threat to our region. I want to see here. You saw a comment saying there's a tornado warning for Charles County. That is not the case at the moment. Our program here tends to be rather stay pretty updated with what's going on, and we have no tornado warning right now for Charles County. So I don't know who commented that. Mandy, Charles County is not yet under tornado warning. And if you got that alert, you shouldn't have just yet. It is still just a severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect here. This tornado warning should be allowed to be canceled, or it should be allowed to expire here. And yeah, that would be right in here. And actually, looks like the National Weather Service is updating their language here with this storm. So we should see a tornado warning coming here in pretty short order for Charles County. They're now highlighting that a tornado has indeed been observed with this storm. Latest update, Doppler radar indicated a tornado that was located over Dahlgren moving northeast at 30 miles per hour. They're highlighting the threat of a damaging tornado. Which is actually pretty strong language from the National Weather Service. What I want to do is take you on over to a different version of our radar. This here really allows me to see what's going on. I'm going to take you in here. And I do see probably where we likely do have a tornado ongoing here, right along 301. And actually what I want to do, let me bring you on up over here. So this is a live look here. This is the 301 bridge here looking into our storm. Virginia would be in the background. I can see where we're looking at a darker color here into the background. That might be where we're looking at what could be either a tornado or a water spout right now with this storm that's continuing to move here to the north and east. The latest verbiage here from the National Weather Service with this is a confirmed tornado on the ground. Emergency management confirmed a tornado. They say right over Dahlgren. For those in the direct path of a potential tornado touchdown from this, debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. So this is moving over Dahlgren and Nanjemoine Creek. And this makes me wonder why we don't yet have this tornado warning in effect yet for parts of Charles County. So what we're looking at here, this is our 4-panel radar. So this is going to be our 4-panel radar. The top left, that's going to be what you typically see with radar. What I really want you to notice here on these other panels, you see the greens and reds in this top right panel. That's going to be our rotation couplet. Bottom right, that's going to be where we have that rotation confirmed. And then here in Dahlgren, on this bottom left hand, you see this little bit of yellow right here. That would be indicative to me of some debris getting lofted into the air with this storm. That is that's what we call our correlation coefficient. That is, and I'll take that full screen here for you so you can see what I'm talking about. This measures what's similar and dissimilar in the atmosphere. So where we get these lower or these brighter colors, that's lower percentages of things that are similar. And right in here would be that threat of a potential tornado with this storm as it continues here to track to the north and east. Coming back over here to live William Richmond Inc. radar. Again, no new tornado warning just yet for Charles County, but again, I do suspect that it's coming very shortly here. It should have been issued a while ago, if I'm being honest with what I've been seeing, as I see no evidence here of this storm yet weakening as it pushes north and east. New radar scan here shows that this is now crossing over the, and I want to come over here to our live camera. This is going to be the 301 bridge camera here looking into our storm. So Virginia would be back in the background. This is from the Charles County side. This is going to be right over where this tornadic thunderstorm is moving here in Newburgh, crossing the Potomac River. And again, Otis, we have no tornado warning yet for Charles County, just a severe thunderstorm warning there for you. But it's going to be this little guy back in here that looks to be where we have a little bit of a lowering of the cloud base. That's going to be, yeah, Mandy. There is no. What I will do, let me take you on over here. As of right now, no active tornado warning for Charles County. There hasn't been one. There's just been this severe thunderstorm warning with the tornado potential tag with it. I promise to you, I have no reason not to tell you the most up-to-date information. And our program here it doesn't just select out tornado warnings. But this storm, again, pushing here right into the Pope's Creek area. Dean, so the reason they would let you know from... Yeah, and I'm sure they... This is why you want to stick with JB Weather for the latest information. Again, no tornado warning for Charles County. We are treating this like a tornado warning, though. In my opinion, there probably should be one that's issued with this storm. We're treating it like a tornado warning because we continue to note a high amount of rotation with this storm here as it gets near the 301 bridge. I want to show you the latest velocity right now. Really showing this rotation here over Pope's Creek and Newburgh. I feel like I'm sparking an argument on whether or not there's actually a tornado warning. That isn't my intention, and I have no interest in arguing with anyone over if there's actually a tornado warning just yet or not. I can confirm there's not. There was earlier a tornado warning for King George County. That might have set off some of your phones because there is a corner of this warning right here. You can see this little tiny corner touches Charles County. That might have set off some of your phones, but again, no active tornado warning right now. And I'm not going to die on this hill because I do believe there probably should be a tornado warning for parts of Charles County right now as this storm continues here to track to the north and east. The National Weather Service, I want to come on over to our other versions here of radar. This is why I shouldn't look at the comments too much during these. So this is a look at live William Richmond Inc. radar. We're looking at the velocity mode here with this storm. It is showing us where we have this rotation right now, where you get these bright reds. That would be winds coming away from the radar, green wind going towards the radar. That would indicate that rotation couplet there. This is really moving here into the Pope's Creek region. What I want to do is come on over here into live radar. I want to get some of these town names loaded up. Let's come over here to base velocity. You can see that rotation really right in there here in Pope's Creek and Newburgh. So this rotation right now is right over Edge Hill Road, Pope's Creek Road, Clifton Drive. This is the region right now with the rotation. This is going to be moving here towards Newport and Dennisville over the next little bit. Let me get the latest track on this storm here for you. Continuing to track it northeast here at about 30 miles an hour. I do want to get this update over to our social media accounts. All right, let's get the warning text with this. Get a screen grab of that, take you on over here to Twitter. All right. Let me get that over to Facebook, and then we'll come back in here live and track this storm. This is definitely one of the more active points in time here today. And I'm really surprised they actually haven't issued that tornado warning for Charles County. I really see no reason why they wouldn't have issued it. Like, it makes no sense to me. Let me take you on over here. So yeah, this is going to be that velocity data that we've been looking at. And if we put this into motion here, you can kind of see. So this is that couplet right here, that green and red couplet. You can see how that is tracked here from King George County, getting here into Charles County. There really should be a warning on this. I'm really surprised there isn't. So I'm like fighting this battle, but there really should be a tornado warning with it. If I were to issue that tornado warning, I would be issuing it kind of right into this region here. This would be that black polygon. That would be the area that I would be concerned about this storm continuing to move here to the north and east with a decent amount of rotation. So this is just north of Cobb Island. This would be Newport, Dentsville, Hughesville, Benedict, just north of Wicomico. It's going to be this region. Belle Alton, you're included right now. As this storm continues to track here to the north and east. Will wants to know if we can take a look at that 301 camera. This storm is actually just now past 301. We can take a look at it, see what it's showing us right now. Yeah, this is going to be on the backside of this storm right now. You can see where that heavy rain still is with this storm. The biggest concern is going to be out ahead of this storm as it continues here to race towards the north and east. So I would have concerns. Let me put that storm track back here with it. And we're tracking it northeast here at about 20-ish miles an hour, 25 miles an hour. So again, we're talking Newport, Charlotte, Hall by about 840, Lower Marlboro 906 potentially. This might threaten Huntingtown and Prince Frederick here as we head on over towards 910. All right. So let's see. We are getting some damage reports. I'm going to come over here. This is really going to show me what I want to see. I want to take a look at that rotation tracker here. So again, where you see these brightest colors, these yellows, that would be indicative of where we've seen a decent amount of rotation with this storm. And again, that yellow shows where that's been the highest. You can see where it's tracked here over the last hour. This started down here in Hewlett, Virginia, just south of Ladysmith, west of Bowling Green, west of Port Royal, through King George, right through Dahlgren, crossing the Potomac River here. Now right over the Pope's Creek area. This is going to continue to track north and east. So I'm really the most concerned on the southern side of this warning polygon. So if we were to extrapolate this, this would be right here over Dentsville, Newport, Wicomico, Hughesville, potentially on over towards Benedict over the next half an hour or so. The National Weather Service is continuing the severe thunderstorm. Justin, is the Dollar General going to be okay in Newburgh? I don't really know where that is. I'm not from Newburgh, but that is just evidence. I get asked a variety of questions that are very specific. So let's come on in here. Vicky wants to know about Lexington Park. Right now, this is all to your north, Lexington Park. Our main concern right now is just here in Charles County. Becca wants to know about Newburgh. This is just passed through you. So you still have that heavy rain, but if we come over here to that velocity scan, it's no longer in Newburgh. This is now right on the doorstep of Newport. Yeah. So we're really tracking, and I wanna stick with this because that image becomes a little messy. So this is going to be your rotation couplet here, right over Newport. So with that in mind, let's take a look at some of these areas that are going to be in the path of this storm. Du Bois Road, Trinity Church Road, Route 6, Kentucky Avenue, Penn's Hill Road. You're all in the path of the storm right now. Mechanicsville, this should stay just to your north. Granted, you might see some rain, but the worst of this rotation is going to be tracking right up here towards Hughesville over the next half hour or so, south of Waldorf. Beach Hill Place, and actually, yeah, we see this new radar scan here. Oh, now we're getting into the town by town what's happening in my backyard. So withhold those questions about what's going to be happening in La Plata and Waldorf. I can't answer all of those questions at the moment. Actually, what I'll do, I'm going to move that over here so I don't. So yeah, this is going to be that tight rotation couplet here, and I want to get that storm track back on it. Again, we're noting that this is moving 48 degrees, so that's very starkly northeast at about 30 miles an hour. Will wants to know why we have this amount of rotation and no tornado warning. That is a very good question. Granted, I don't issue these warnings. Maybe there's something they're seeing that I'm not. Given what I know, though, about these types of storms is that I'm just surprised that there isn't one, because I've seen storms get warnings issued on them for far less. So I wouldn't be surprised to see some damage reports come out of this region. This is a general look at storm timing here for you. This is really right now just to the east of Belle Alton. This looks to track just out to Dentsville. So Hughesville, Benedict, be aware for this storm here over the next little bit. Huntingtown, Prince Frederick, and then eventually on over towards the beaches here as it continues to track north and east with this. Zooming out, yeah, and we have additional thunderstorms firing down to the south. So for those of you in Charles County, again, we said we're going to treat this like it's a tornado warning. I believe there probably should be one. If I come over here to our tornado safety precautions you should be taking, even if there isn't a tornado warning, we know this storm has a long history of rotating. It has produced a tornado at different points in its lifetime journey. So we want to be moving to a substantial shelter that has a foundation. So this is what you want to be doing. If you're in Newport, Dentsville, Hughesville, on my other screen here, I'm trying to bring up some street names for you. So if you're along Route 6, Keach Road, up here near Pale Morning Court, Scout Camp Road, 381, 231, along Route 5 south of Bryantown near Hughesville, and even potentially over towards Charlotte Hall, Golden Beach Road, again, Route 6, and just north of Mechanicsville. This is what you might want to start thinking about doing. Move to the lowest level of your home, either a basement or a first floor for you. Move into an interior room, and you want to put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. So zooming out again, this is a look at this storm continuing to track north and east. I'll turn the lightning off for the time being so you can see it. This entire storm, regardless of if it's rotating or not, just the totality of it, it's going to continue to push here to the north and east at about 30 miles an hour. So this is going to be pushing here into Mechanicsville in about the next 5 to 10 minutes or so. Prince Frederick in about the next 20-25 minutes. The beaches in 25 to 30 minutes. Huntingtown 15 to 20 minutes. So be aware, Lower Marlboro, the beaches, Huntingtown, Prince Frederick, Mechanicsville will likely see a new severe thunderstorm warning get issued for this region. Hans wants to know about the potential hail size. The National Weather Service is highlighting that potential of up to 1-inch size hail. We'll see if we are able to get a look at estimated hail size. And we have what could be a little bit of a hail core up over 1/2 inch to maybe 1-inch size hail south of Belle Alton. Nothing nearly as bad as what we saw about a week and a half ago in northern Calvert County with that 3- and 4-inch size hail as it pushed on through. And if I'm going to take this off here. I'm going to take you on over to the National Mosaic so I can zoom out. Let's take that storm track off for the time being. You can see, let's put this into motion here, how these storms have been tracking over the last hour. They've been tracking from southwest here to northeast, again, prompting several tornado warnings across parts of Virginia. This is now pushing into our region. We not only have this lead storm pushing in, but we have this line developing back to the west that's bringing some nasty weather to Fauquier County, Culpeper, Spotsylvania County. That's pushing north and east as well. No tornado warnings with this line. This is mainly just a heavy rain and damaging wind threat with it. So it's really just kind of these storms that have fired out ahead of the main line that have the potential to try to rotate, since they have, they don't have other storms to compete with. They're very isolated by themselves. For the main line, you stretch that wind energy out just a little bit. So let me switch you on over here. So again, this is our 4-panel radar. Actually, I want to take this just as one panel to limit the confusion of what we're looking at. This here is going to be our rotation tracker. This is really this is really like a decent sign of rotation. This happened last year with Ida as it pushed into Annapolis. That tornado warning should have been issued like 15 minutes before it was. And that spawned an EF2 tornado. I'm not saying this will, but this is a very tight circulation here just to the west of Charlotte Hall. Where you see these reds, these are winds coming away from the radar. The green is wind coming into the radar. This is pushing just west of Charlotte Hall, might be coming right over Charlotte Hall into the Hughesville area. So be on alert. Charlotte Hall, Hughesville, Benedict, Eagle Harbor here over the next little bit. Again, this is going to be just to the north and west of Mechanicsville. This is all north of Cobb Island. I see a couple of those comments. This is north of much of St. Mary's County. It's really only if you're like Mechanicsville to Golden Beach, north of there. This is going to be that rotation couplet that I'm definitely keeping an eye on. It's rather impressive considering, yeah, it's really right in here where we get these colors matching up. We're going to continue to track this. So Charlotte Hall, Hughesville, Benedict, Eagle Harbor, Huntingtown, Prince Frederick over the next half hour or so as it continues here to push to the north and east. We got a new velocity scan coming in here in the next 30 seconds. I want to see how this is holding up as it continues to track here to the north and east. In the meantime, I'll take you back over here. And this is, if for nothing else, heavy rain and gusty winds pushing into Bryantown, Hughesville, Charlotte Hall. And then, yeah, we had this storm report earlier I meant to take a look at. As this storm pushed through King George County, tree down in the 14,000 block of Port Conway Road. And we saw that report of a tornado coming here over towards the Dahlgren area, pushing in now into Hughesville. This is pushing here into Benedict. That severe thunderstorm warning has been allowed to expire. So that means as of right now, we have no active warnings with this, which, again, I find somewhat surprising. All right. All right, just getting the latest information here in our chat system. So yeah, no active warnings right now, which is good news. There we go. There we go. Oh my goodness. Not that I want a tornado warning, but Jesus, we've been waiting on this forever. New tornado warning now for Charles County, Southern PG, in Northern Calvert County. Boy, golly, was that forever. Oh. Sorry, that just, oh. There's going to be something that grinds my gears. It's that. And thank you all for, you all, if you've been here long enough, you know what's going on. So, I'm going to get this one over to our social media accounts. This warning that it should have been issued like 15 minutes ago. Like, that's so annoying to me. Oh. All right. So this is going to be for northwestern Calvert, eastern Charles, and southern Prince George's County until 9 o'clock. Copy, save. Let me get this over to Twitter, and then we will kind of reset here with this storm. All right. So for those of you just now tuning in, good evening. I'm Forecaster John Bordash, continuing to track this line of strong storms. We have a brand new tornado warning now in effect for parts of Charles County, Prince George's, and Calvert counties here. I see some people saying the tornado warnings are sounding in La Plata, but this does not include La Plata, so do not be worried. But this warning goes until 9 o'clock. At 8:30, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Golden Beach, or 7 miles west of Howling Point, moving northeast at 45 miles per hour. The main hazards here are going to be tornado, the potential for a tornado, and quarter-sized hail. And again, this goes until 9 o'clock. Locations impacted include, but are not limited to, Lower Marlboro, Eagle Harbor, Aquasco, Hughesville, Bryantown, Huntingtown, and Baden here. This is going to be over the next, let's see, we're talking the next half hour or so. And I'm going to want to get an updated storm track with this. So yeah, that is a really strong sign of rotation here in the Hughesville area. We're pushing this at about 45-ish miles an hour. So we're really looking here, getting into Hughesville literally right now. Lower Marlboro as you push towards 850. Same deal in Huntingtown. Chesapeake Beach and the beaches right around 9 o'clock. Eventually into Deal as you push towards 9 o'clock, about 9:05. So if you are in this tornado warning, what do you need to be doing right now? Move indoors to a substantial shelter that has a foundation, not a mobile home, not a trailer, not a shed. Move to the lowest level of that shelter, either a basement or a first floor. You really want to get as low with these types of systems as you can. You want to move into an interior room. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. That is likely going to look like a closet, a bathroom, maybe an interior hallway if you have none of those. You want to cover your head and body. You want to protect yourself from flying debris. Lots of questions about what's happening in my neck of the woods. This is a look at that tornado warning right now. And actually what I can do, let me turn off all of our different layers so you can see exactly who is located. Everywhere in this pink polygon is under a tornado warning until 9 o'clock. This includes Bryantown, Hughesville, does not include Charlotte Hall, does not include Golden Beach, does not include anywhere south of Prince Frederick, really anywhere south of Huntingtown, does not yet include Dunkirk or the beaches. It really is between Dunkirk and Dennisville, and from about Baden to about Huntingtown. It's this pink polygon right here under that active tornado warning right now. Sally wants to know if you don't have a basement or an interior room, you need to put you want to get as low as you can. So if that's not a basement, that's going to just be a first floor for you. If you don't have a closet, if you don't have a bathroom, you just want to get to the centermost part of your shelter there. And again, that shelter needs to have a foundation to protect you from this storm. This storm does have a history of producing tornadoes. It has at least 2 accounts of potentially producing a tornado. Again, this does not include much. This doesn't include La Plata at all. I hear that there are tornado sirens sounding in La Plata. This doesn't include you. So this is right now right over Hughesville, right along 231, just north of Charlotte Hall. I drew on there where we have this rotation couplet right now. This is tracking very starkly north and east. So Quasco, Eagle Harbor, this is going to be on your doorstep here in very short order as it continues to track here to the north and east. So we're, again, talking 231. Let's get some of these locations. Ivy Hill Court, Cloverleaf Court right over you right now. Neck Road coming up on you here pretty soon. Eastview Farm Road, again, over here in Eagle Harbor. Truman Point Road. This will then be coming up here into the Aquasco Farm region. Milltown Landing Road. Kings Landing Road. Holland Cliffs Road. Huntingtown Road up here into Pat Lane, Mary Circle, then eventually appear along Route 4. So generally, this is going to be southeast of Route 4. So new information coming in. We're starting to get a little bit of a rotation couplet here. This is turning very dangerous very quick. We have a brand new tornado warning now in effect. This is a very dangerous storm. Huntingtown and Prince Frederick, you're included. Benedict as well. This is a life-threatening situation as this storm continues here to track to the north and east. If you've been with us for the last, now going on an hour, you know we've been tracking this storm. This is a very dangerous storm as it continues here to track to the north and east. I'm going to get the latest posted up to our social media accounts. If you are in Prince Frederick, if you are in Huntingtown, if you are inside this pink polygon, this is a life-threatening situation right now. It is very likely that this storm is producing a tornado as it continues here to track to the north and east. So let me go ahead and get the latest information here posted for you. This technically includes St. Mary's County, but it is very far northern St. Mary's County. We're talking barely parts of Charlotte Hall. I'm going to get regular radar look. Actually, that's fine. So this is going to be for central Calvert County. This is going to be eastern Charles County, southern Prince George's County, and northern St. Mary's County. Again, this is going to go until 9 o'clock. This is a life-threatening situation with this storm. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Golden Beach or near Holling Point, moving northeast at 40 miles per hour. So we will reset here in just a moment. Let me go ahead. Let me update our Twitter account with this information that's coming in. Again, this is a very dangerous storm. Again, we've been tracking this for about 45 minutes or so as it's been tracking north and east. If you're just now joining, good evening. I'm Forecaster John Bordash here in the JB Weather Storm Center, continuing to track a string of dangerous thunderstorms that's continuing here to push to the north and east. We have a brand new tornado warning in effect for central parts of Calvert County, southern parts of Prince George's County, eastern parts of, southern parts of Prince George's County, eastern Charles County, northern parts of St. Mary's County. This goes until 9 o'clock. At 8:36, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Golden Beach, near Howling Point, and pushing northeast at 40 miles per hour. For those in the direct path of this tornado touchdown, flying debris will become dangerous, especially for those caught without shelter. Damage to roofs, siding, and windows may occur. Mobile homes may be damaged or destroyed in the situation. Tree damage is likely as well. Locations impacted include, but are not limited to, Prince Frederick, Golden Beach, Huntingtown, Hughesville, Aquasco, Benedict, and Eagle Harbor. If you are in this tornado warning, this is what you need to be doing. Move indoors to a substantial shelter. So if you are in Benedict, Prince Frederick, Huntingtown, right along Route 4, Eagle Harbor, and I'm even going to say if you're in Dares Beach, Willows, or the beaches right now in northern Calvert County, move indoors to a substantial shelter that has a foundation. Move to the lowest level of that shelter, either a basement or a first floor. Move into an interior room. You want to put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Cover your head and body. You want to protect yourself from flying debris. Now, this warning is in effect technically for St. Mary's County and Calvert County. Much of St. Mary's County is not under this warning. It's not even in effect for Mechanicsville. This is the very northern part here, really just for Oaks, Cooksey Swamp Road. It is largely just that part of St. Mary's County. In Calvert County, it's not in effect south of Prince Frederick. So if you're in St. Leonard, if you're in Lesby, you are fine from this storm. This storm is going to be posing life-threatening potential impacts to Prince Frederick, Huntingtown, Sunderland, Willows, and the beaches, Chesapeake and North Beach, over the next 15 to 30 minutes. What I want to do is come over here to our updated velocity tracker here. Again, where you get these reds matching up with these greens, those would be winds coming away and then towards the radar in a very tight couplet. This right now is right over Eagle Harbor. This is going to be pushing here right towards Huntingtown and the Route 4 region. I want to take you back over here to Live Lane Richmond Inc. radar. We can see where this rotation couplet is. Again, it is right here, just south of Eagle Harbor, the northern part of the Patuxent River, just north of the Benedict Bridge here. This is going to be moving right over Lowry Road, Maurice Bowen Road, Stokely Road, Millard Point Road, and Walton Road. And this will then be crossing Route 4 here between Prince Frederick and Huntingtown. I'm thinking this area that's going to be right on the Calvert Memorial Hospital, that's going to be a region up along that stretch of Route 4 that we're going to be watching for this potential for this storm to continue to track north and east. We're then going to be tracking it along 263 Woodlow Court up here towards the Willows area in the next 15 minutes. So if you're in Willows, you are not technically under this this tornado warning right now, but I would be acting as though you were, as this storm continues to starkly move here to the north and east at about 40 miles an hour. So we're going to be moving this eventually here into Sunderland, the beaches, Willows, just north of Dares Beach over the next 15 to 30 minutes. It is going to be important that you take those tornado safety precautions right now as this continues here to track very starkly here to the north and east. I want to take you back on over here to our velocity tracker, and we're going to use it in a little bit of a different way. This is going to be showing us where we have potential debris in the air. And we noted earlier, we had what looked to be a debris signal right here over Benedict and over here towards Eagle Harbor. This tool here measures where we have debris in the air, what items look similar or dissimilar. When we get that debris, it registers as lower values, which then means a brighter color. And when you get those blues, that's indicative of that. Long story short, for what we're looking at it for, we're trying to see where that debris is, and I'm seeing what could definitely be a debris signature here, moving towards the Huntingtown area. Yeah, really all up along this line here. Yeah, so from about Eagle Harbor up here into the Huntingtown region, this is going to be posing an imminent threat to the Route 4 corridor between Prince Frederick and Huntingtown. I want to get you those latest look at the areas that this is affecting. So this is right now on top of Lowry Road, Ben Oak Road, Deep Landing Road up here towards Holland Cliffs Road, Carson Drive, Kings Landing Road, Holland Cliffs Road again, Smoky Road. This is the region right now under imminent threat. This will be moving towards Hunting Farms Lane, Clay Hammond Road, Lottie Fowler Road, Lady Ann's Way, again 263, and MF Bowen Road. These are the regions that are going to be under the most immediate threat here from this storm. Again, we're using our rotation tool here. These bright reds indicate winds away from the radar, green winds towards the radar. So we get a decent rotation couplet that has now crossed the Patuxent River into parts of Calvert County, northern parts of Calvert County, posing an immediate risk here for Route 4, really paralleling 263 into the Willows communities. So if you are in Willows, you are not under an active tornado warning right now. You are not. But I am very concerned that you probably will be, and that concern extends even further north here into Sunderland and the beaches as you continue to race here to the north and east. This storm has a long history of producing potential tornadoes in parts of Virginia down towards Hanover County, Virginia, about an hour ago when we started this live stream, and in King George County about half an hour to 45 minutes ago. This storm has continued to hold together very well as it crossed the Potomac River through Charles County. I wouldn't be surprised to see damage reports come in here out of Newburgh and Newport and Dentsville. It has continued to hold together as it has now approached the Patuxent River, and has prompted this new tornado warning here for Prince Frederick and for Huntingtown. And again, this goes here until 9 o'clock, and it is very important that you are taking those tornado safety precautions. I want to show you our rotation tracker right now. That is not it. This would be it. Again, these brightest colors, let me turn this off. These brightest yellows, reds, and even blues, the brighter the color, the more ominous that sign of rotation, the stronger the sign of rotation. This is an hour-long track, so this is tracked from Ladysmith through King George, through Charles County. It really picked up here near Charlotte Hall. This likely is where it produced a little bit of a tornado, pushing here through Hughesville into Benedict. And if you follow this line, this is pushing here right into Huntingtown, Prince Frederick, right along Route 4. And if we continue to extrapolate, the Sunderland, the beaches, and Willow is going to be under threat as this storm continues here to track to the north and east. This is a very dangerous situation. You don't want to be caught really without paying attention to this storm. We have additional storms firing to the south and west. No active warnings right now, but we will see heavy rain push in through much of the region over the next hour and a half to 2 hours. The only concern right now is this tornado warning, which has now been updated. At 8:46, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located right over Howling Point, continuing to move northeast at 30 miles an hour. For those in the direct path of this potential tornado touchdown, flying debris will become dangerous, especially if you're caught without shelter. Damage to roofs, siding, and windows may occur. Mobile homes may be damaged or destroyed in the situation. Tree damage is likely. Take cover now with this storm. Locations impacted include, but are not limited to, Prince Frederick, Huntingtown, Aquasco, Benedict. And looking forward here, again, we probably should have a new tornado warning coming out here pretty soon. And I'll show you where my current threat area is. My threat zone right now is going to be where I'm about to draw this black polygon. Actually, it's not even that far south and east anymore. Let me start that over. It's really going to be this region right now. It's really going to be Huntingtown, Willows, southern parts of Sunderland, southern parts of the beaches, northern parts of Prince Frederick. This black polygon is going to be where I'm the most concerned about rotation and a potential tornado touchdown. We've been tracking this storm here for quite a while, and this would not surprise me to see a touchdown occur. New velocity scan coming in now. We are seeing that rotation definitely not nearly as impressive as before. We're seeing that this storm is beginning to kind of condense itself, where those winds moving away from the radar are catching up with those winds towards the radar. It's kind of sandwiching a little bit, but we do still know that rotation kind of right through here, moving through the Huntingtown region. So we're going to continue to watch this. This storm is moving fairly fast now. Now moving now moving north and east, probably closer to 40 or 45 miles per hour. La Plata has actually never been in the warning and is not currently in the warning. So much of Charles County, you're not in this. The only area in Charles County that's still under the warning is in Benedict along 231. But even for you, the worst of this is past now to your east. St. Mary's County, not in this warning. If you're south of Prince Frederick, not in the warning. Much of PG County, not in the warning. It really is just here in Calvert County from Huntington to Prince Frederick. And again, if you're in Huntington, Prince Frederick, Willows, or the beaches, this is what I need you to start doing. Mechanicsville is not in the warning as well. You're going to be moving indoors. And actually, as I say this, we have a new severe thunderstorm warning now coming in for northern parts of Calvert County until 9:30. So I want to go ahead and get the latest information here with this warning, get it up to our social media accounts. So do bear with me as I get that together. That will lead to a momentary pause in the coverage, at least for me talking, but I will keep this up. You can see where that tornado warning remains in effect here for the next 9 minutes as this continues here to push towards the east. Well, really the northeast, a pretty stark direction. So this severe thunderstorm warning is going to be for southern Anne Arundel County, northern Calvert County, and eastern Prince George's County until 9:30. A severe thunderstorm was located over Dunkirk or near Chesapeake, well, really over Dunkirk, moving northeast at 30 miles an hour. Damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour, and a potential tornado are all possible with this storm. Let me go ahead and get that up over to our Twitter account, and we'll come back in here live and get the latest information on these warnings. All right. So coming back in here, again, we have several warnings in effect, and if you're just now joining us, good evening. I'm Forecaster John Bordash with you right around 8:52, continuing to track these dangerous storms pushing into the region. The worst of this weather right now is pushing into Calvert and southern Anne Arundel counties. We have an active tornado warning till 9 o'clock that will likely be allowed to expire here as we're beginning to lose some of the most impressive rotation with this storm, but it is still tornado warned for Huntington and Prince Frederick till 9 o'clock. We also now have a severe thunderstorm warning for this orange polygon from Annapolis down here through Anne Arundel County and Calvert County. This goes until 9:30. At 8:50, a severe thunderstorm located near Dunkirk or near Chesapeake Beach was moving at 30 miles per hour. 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, quarter-size hail, and a potential brief spin-up will be possible with this storm as it continues here to push towards the north and east. Locations impacted include, but are not limited to, Annapolis, Mayo, Shadyside, Chesapeake Beach, Deal, Prince Frederick, South River, Breezy Point, Road River, Parole, Dunkirk, Lindentown, Edgewater, Rivia, Huntingtown, Owings, Baden, Aquasco, Galesville, and Friendship. If I located any of those towns that are near you, you are under the severe thunderstorm warning until 9:30. For your protection, move into an interior room on the lowest floor of the building you are in. This northern part of this line really does continue to look very impressive. If we come over here, I want to see what we're registering here with our winds with this storm. We're really kind of seeing the worst of it that's just pushed through Dunkirk here, really coming up here right along Route 2. This is where we're getting some of those strongest winds up to 60 miles an hour. It looks like this tornado warning should be allowed to expire here. I'm not seeing any concise areas here of rotation anymore. I'm not seeing any potential tornado touchdowns with this storm. And the worst of it really has now moved up here into the beaches and willows. And if anything, our potential tornado would be right here getting into the beaches. So we've been telling you in North Chesapeake and Rendell Cliff Beach to be aware for this storm. It looks like it's kind of outrun our warning. Right now, this potential tornado would be right in here just out of Sunderland. So this is going to be right up along. I want to Lake Ridge Drive. So let's clear off our layers here a little bit. So this potential rotation is going to be right here along Lake Ridge Drive, coming up towards Dorothy Drive, Old Bayside Road, and then 261. So we'll continue to track this. It looks like, yeah, our tornado warning will be allowed to expire indeed at 9 o'clock. If for nothing else, just because the warning has outrun, or the storm has outrun the warning. But the worst of it is right here. Out of Sunderland, this will be moving just into Randall Cliff Beach. New radar scan continues to show that. So Chesapeake Beach, this is right on your doorstep. This is what you want to... Let me come over here. This is what we want to be doing. Again, no active tornado warning anymore at this point. That tornado warning's been canceled. We're now just dealing with the severe thunderstorm warning, as the worst of this is now pushing out towards the bay. But if you're in the beaches, you are still under a threat of this, so still move inside into a substantial shelter with a foundation. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible, and get to the lowest level of your building if you're able to. Coming back over here, I want to take a look at just radar at large. I want to take a look at our lightning strikes as well. Yeah, you can see this is a very electric storm here. We're registering up over 200 strikes of lightning here just over the last half an hour. We're now pushing here into Sunderland, Chesapeake Beach, Randall Cliff Beach, Rose Haven, Friendship, Fairhaven, Tracy's Landing, Deal, Shadyside. Newest radar scan is in, shows that continues to push here to the north and east. That tornado warning, yeah, it's been allowed to expire. Let me come over here, show you what we're taking a look at. No longer looking at that tornado warning. You can see, though, with our rotation tracker, where that rotation really was here, coming just after Hughesville, into Benedict, coming here into Eagle Harbor, and then into Huntingtown here over the last little bit. We will continue to track this storm. The worst of it right now is kind of over Willows, and then it's about to move out over the bay. I know we have followers on the eastern shore, though, Talbot County and Queen Anne's County. Be aware, as this continues to move here to the north and east, you'll likely at least see a severe thunderstorm watch, or a severe thunderstorm warning, if not a tornado warning here over the next little bit as this moves to the eastern shore. But no active tornado warnings right now. We got through that. Granted, this tornado warning was issued much later than it really should have been. And if you were part of the 250 people here a little bit ago, you know that I was pretty livid that had not yet been issued. The severe thunderstorm watch has now been canceled for the northern neck. It likely will be canceled in short order for southern Maryland, as well as the worst of this weather is now kind of really just with this one storm now. And once this pushes out over the bay, we're going to be all good to go. Lots of questions, though, about what am I going to see in St. Mary's County, in Calvert County, in Westmoreland. You're still on tap to see rain. You didn't see the worst of the storms, but if you're in California, you still got hefty rain here back to the west that'll be pushing through. So as it rains yet, the rain is coming, though, for you. Yeah, Anita, the tornado threat is now no longer present for Dunkirk. No active tornado warnings. We just have heavy rain and gusty winds with these storms. And Timmy wants to know, do we have any additional tornado threats? I don't think so. I really think it was just this one storm that we saw push through that had the greatest tornado threat with it, and that's no longer the case. Let me bring it back on over here, showing you all of that lightning, the heavy rain, the damaging winds as well. With what we have going on back to the west, this is just a heavy rain threat with what's left. So the severe weather threat, you can really see all the action. All the lightning is with this one storm here that's getting ready to push out towards on over towards the Chesapeake Bay. But do stay aware. Just because you're not seeing severe thunderstorm warnings or tornado warnings doesn't mean the weather won't be bad. Southern Calvert County, parts of St. Mary's County, you will see some rain here over the next half an hour to an hour. That could definitely be heavy at times as it pushes on in. And one area I am watching loosely is going to be down here towards Clements and Loveville. This is not an ideal looking tornadic storm, but I am seeing some hints of rotation. If I show you that here on the radar, you can see generally We have light winds coming away from the radar, stronger winds towards the radar. So maybe just a little bit of rotation in that area. Nothing that's overly concerning though, and not something I would expect to see a tornado warning issued for. But yeah, we'll continue to track all of this. Again, just that severe thunderstorm warning now until 9:30 here for the beaches. Northern Calvert, southern Anne Arundel County. Worst of this, really pushing into North Beach at the moment. We have a decent little hail core here just south of Sunderland, getting ready to push into Randall Cliff Beach, upwards over an inch or so, where we have those areas shaded in red. That would be some pretty hefty hail here pushing into the beaches. And I see Willis St. Tracy's Landing got hit with some small hail right now. And that would be the worst kind of this storm. A little bit of hail, yeah, up here in southern Anne Arundel County as well. This is all racing here to the east towards the bay. So give this, again, if you're in northern Calvert, southern Anne Arundel County, give this about 10 or 15 minutes. This storm is really picking up in its forward speed, and we really should see this push out over the bay and see the worst of the severe threat come to an end here as we head towards 9:10, 9:15. Amber says it's pouring up at 2:31. You're getting some hail in Sunderland, according to Kathleen. And I do believe that, given how this storm is continuing to really get its act together in a severe weather way, that tornado threat again it's really kind of diminished now. Any rotation, it's this couplet right here, actually off of North Beach, that has kind of moved to the northeast here. This might pose a threat for areas like St. Michael's and up here towards Stevensonville over the next half hour, 45 minutes. But that's not really our coverage area, so we're not going to be too worried right now as this pushes off. Questions about Loveville. It's really just now beginning for you down towards Loveville and St. Mary's County, and rain's probably going to continue until 10, 11, maybe as late as midnight, 1 a.m., off and on. But thunder and lightning beginning to become a thing out here towards northern St. Mary's County. And yeah, really the worst of this, northern Calvert County, southern parts of Anne Arundel County at the present time. Newest radar scan shows that is really kind of right now moving here into North Beach and Rose Haven. And this has been an area that has been just plagued with that heavy rain here over the last few weeks, really. If we take a look at how much rain has fallen thus far from these storms, let me come over here to precipitation. We have seen a lot of rain where this storm initially moved through here, through King George County, through Charles County. You see the swath of blue and purple. Those are rainfall amounts between 1 to 3 inches. Heavy rain, flooding rain through Belle Alton, north of Newburgh, through Dahlgren, just off the Fairview Beach and west of King George. And we're seeing this now push here into this region in northern Calvert County. So north of Huntingtown now is where you're seeing the worst weather, that heaviest rain, that hail, that little bit of damaging wind threat. And we're picking up very quickly upwards of an inch or so of rain out of these storms. And that's going to lead to some flooding issues. So be prepared for that in Tracy's Landing, Friendship, Fairhaven, Rosehaven, the beaches, Owings, Sunderland, Dunkirk. And probably my favorite thing to say right now is the beaches. I love saying that. That's kind of been our big theme here over the last little bit. But kind of zooming up, that's where the worst of the weather is. Southern Calvert, southern St. Mary's, this weather is about to push into your region. So don't think you're in the clear if you're in Lesby or Lexington Park or Leonardtown or Scotland. You do have some nasty weather pushing on into your region. Those storms right now over Westmoreland County, getting ready to cross the Potomac River here into southern Maryland. But that severe threat is gradually coming to an end. The severe thunderstorm watch does continue for southern Maryland until 10 o'clock. So we will continue to stay on guard, but the highest severe weather risk right now is for our northern communities, and even that should be coming to an end here gradually. In Dunkirk, you've likely noticed that the rain has started to let up a little bit. It's picking up in the beaches through Tracy's Landing, Shady Side, Deal, but even that should begin to kind of wane off here in just a little bit, and that severe weather threat will begin to come to an end. Zooming out, though, what I want to do is take a look at our national mosaic radar. If I put this into motion here over the last hour, you can see the general, and I want to turn this bad boy off. That scares people for no reason. You can see the general movement here of these storms. You see what's kind of like a line here from southern parts of Pennsylvania through western Maryland, through northern Virginia, down here into North Carolina. This is really the line that'll push through, but really it's just a heavy rain threat. That's pushing into our region here over the next little bit, and zooming out even further, you can see just the general spin here in the atmosphere. And if I show you over, let's say, the last 5-6 hours, you can really see how this has kind of developed. You can see that spin here with this storm in Columbus, over Ohio, over Columbus now, pushing all of those storms from North Carolina, Virginia, right here into our region. And as expected, we do now have a brand new severe thunderstorm warning for the eastern shore as these storms cross the bay and push into this region. Definitely kind of expected. They're also here for the National Weather Service in Mount Holly, warning that Queen Anne's and Talbot counties have the potential to see a tornado as well out of the storm. That potential has been with this storm for a long time now. We've been tracking this storm, and I could probably even show you here. I wanted to see, can I get rotation tracks last 120 minutes? See if that wants to load on up for us. I've never used this tool with this program before, just our other program that does an hour. But you can see where that severe thunderstorm watch has been canceled here across northern Virginia. And I don't think that's actually going to load, which is fine. Let's just come back over here. You are seeing still northern Calvert, southern Anne Arundel County, where the worst of that weather is. Again, now really pushing out over the bayou. Some heavy rain still in Mechanicsville that'll be pushing into Prince Frederick gradually, and more heavy rain back to the south and west. But after an hour and a half, we are going to bring this to a close. My voice is starting to go. I can feel it. We've had a very active hour and a half tracking multiple tornado warnings and what should have been tornado warnings. Thank you all for joining me this evening. I do appreciate you all tuning in to me to get the latest information. The severe weather threat is coming to an end across our region. Granted, the heavy rain threat's just now beginning, and heavy rain will spread across the region here through the overnight hours. So stay weather aware. If we do get any new warnings, I'll be back here with you live to keep you updated. I don't think I'll need to, though. But that flood risk is beginning to increase, and it wouldn't surprise me to see flood warnings get issued. If you want to get the latest updates, head over to facebook.com/jbweather, Twitter @jb_weather, Instagram @jbweather, and of course, always on the website, jbweather.net, for the latest information. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll continue to stay here in the Storm Center to give you the latest, but I'm going to give my vocal cords a break now. So have a nice and safe one, and keep it tuned here to JB Weather for the latest information.
Check the forecast anytime online at jbweather.net.